tutorial on how to factor quadratics by taking square roots. So we have this question here where we need to solve for x. So firstly, we just have to get the constant out of it. So we just subtract 7 from both sides. And that gives us x squared equals 36. So, of course, we need to get x alone, so we have to take away the square. So we can do that by square rooting it. Which also means we need to square root the other side. So then we get x equals, but it could actually be, since negative 6 squared also equals 36, x equals plus or minus 6. So here's when it splits off into multiple equations. So it could be x equals 6, or it could be x equals negative 6. And like in a quadratic, let's say this chart would probably be going like this. Sorry, this is the y-axis here. And basically what this is telling us is these are the 2 points where they cross where their x-intercepts are. So the 2 points in which they cross the x-axis. And they're crossing it at 0, no, not 0. They're crossing it at 6, 0, and they're also crossing it at negative 6, 0. Okay, so and then the smaller of these is obviously negative 6, and the larger is 6. Moving on, this one gets a little more complicated. You can kind of ignore this because this is just like something if you're plugging something into the function, so we're just gonna ignore that. So we need to subtract 490 from both sides because we can't do it with that in the way. So now we get negative 10 x squared equals negative, because we subtracted negative 490 from this side, which is just equal to 0 before, equals negative 490. Okay, and there's a negative 10 here, so we need to divide both sides by negative 10 to get rid of that. So, and the negatives cancel out on both sides, so we're left with x squared equals positive 49. And now we square root both of these. I'm going to switch into a different color. And then we square root both of these. And we get x equals plus or minus 7. Which means x equals both negative 7 and x equals positive 7. So plug that in here. Okay. So now, as we've done before, we have to subtract the constant out of the equation. So we take negative 4 from both sides. So now we have 3x squared equals 432. So divide both sides by 3, and then obviously you can plug it into a calculator. So 432 divided by 3 equals 144. So x squared equals 144. So now we square root both sides to get rid of the square sign. So now we have x equals 12 and plus or minus 12, which means x could equal positive 12 or x could equal negative 12. And that is what we're going to plug in. Not 13. Alright. So write the 0. Oh yeah, so this is the same thing. So we're gonna add 484 to both sides. So now we have 484 equals 4x squared. So we'll divide both sides by 4. And these cross out. And then 484 divided by 4 equals 121. So 121 equals x squared. So x, and then we square root both of these. So x equals positive or negative 11. So I think we've written it out enough times. So now you can just see it's, we enter in both the positive and negative. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this helped.